Hi, I'm Terry Brock. Welcome to my study here on a Saturday morning where I'm getting some work done. I wanted to share with you a very special interview that I had recently with, well, one of my heroes, Jeffrey Tucker. He is a person who is a deep intellectual, a wonderful guy, and just a fun person to be around. He is gracious, he's kind, he's very successful, and recently he has founded a website that I want you to know about called Liberty.me. I'm a member myself. I'm a charter member and paid my money to go in there, and they're not paying me anything to do this. I want you to know that it is a site that I want you to visit and find out what's going on with the community and think about how you can do something similar to this where it's appropriate for you. Liberty.me is an organization, really a virtual community of people around the world that share the idea of freedom and liberty and learning and growth, getting away from some of the coercion that's been in our society and in the world too much, and living life freely, exchanging ideas, living in a vibrant, wonderful way. And that's why I'm so excited to share this with you from Jeffrey Tucker. This is a little bit different than the interviews that I normally do. Normally we're talking about business and life and marketing, technology, those kind of things, which are great. We're still doing it. But this one is a little bit more, which kind of involves all of that. Marketing, business, technology, and a way to live and a why to live and why to keep going. So I want you to enjoy this as I share this with you on this Saturday morning. You have a wonderful time watching it, enjoying it, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. You can reach me over at my website, terrybrock.com, and be sure and visit liberty.me. That is, yes, .me, liberty.me. Go over there and you'll get a chance to enjoy what's going on there. So here's the interview that I did with Jeffrey Tucker. Hi, I'm Terry Brock, and we're talking about liberty, and we're talking about living life the way you want it. And who better to help us with that than our guest that we have right here, Jeffrey Tucker from Liberty.me. Thanks for being with us, Jeffrey.
Yes, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You have done an incredible job with Liberty.me. Tell us a little bit about what it is and what the concept is behind it.
It's a social network and a publishing platform with a philosophy. And that philosophy is that life can be freer if you choose to make it freer. So we're not waiting for top-down reform. We're not waiting for the politicians. We're trying to figure out ways to live a freer life now. And I think this is a great strategic way forward because you end up improving people's lives and making the world a freer place. So that's what the whole site is about. Every page on it is about mutual exchange and engagement and community contributions. I didn't want it to be a one-way billboard where we're preaching to people what the world should look like. I wanted it to be a mechanism for extracting information from people and encouraging people to share ideas because I think we need each other. These are difficult times, so we have to have this kind of sharing environment so that we can help each other to get through them and build a better world.
Yeah, one of the things I enjoy about being there as a member is I see there's all kinds of ways we can share with people. We can get help in business and philosophy, economics, or history, and there's a way of collaboration, sharing a lot of that built in there. What are some of the tools that you see that are helping people today that we talk about on Liberty.me that are really transforming and really changing the world today?
Well, I grew up in a way with the web. I was been a web builder since about 1995, and one of the things I've seen is that we have much more peer-to-peer interaction that's possible now. It's not like the old days where everything was just a billboard. It's just a one-way relationship. But with social networking now, we can have this kind of ongoing communication. So we built all these tools right within Liberty.me. I counted, I think the other day, 25 widgets that we have that allow people to have this kind of mutual relationship. So we're providing social networking and also live classes, ongoing guides. Every book that we have, and we have 200 of them up there by now, also has a discussion forum so that you can take notes on the book as you read and share those notes with other people, and then those people can read the same book and comment on your comments, and so you get this kind of cumulative knowledge processing system. So everybody who gets involved in Liberty.me feels himself to be part of a kind of growing world, a sort of a digital space of ideas and action, really, and personal relationships, too.
Yeah, it does a wonderful job. Now, another thing that we see happening in our world today in a big sense is Bitcoin. It's changing our world, and you've written a lot about this. Tell us, or someone that might say, well, I don't know what Bitcoin is or how it's going to change the world. Tell us your capsule on that.
Bitcoin had a big effect on my outlook on life because I realized this is one programmer named Satoshi Nakamoto, nobody knows who it is, who came out with a white paper in late December 2008 in which he proposed this idea of a blockchain-based currency, a kind of a ledger in the cloud that creates a scarce good that can function as money. The Genesis block came out in early 2009. It becomes a kind of cash for the internet, I guess. Sometimes people call it that. But it's a brilliant innovation. And it took me a long time to fully understand it. But once I did, I understood something not just about Bitcoin, but about how we should think of our job as human beings and lovers of liberty. Satoshi went out there and did something wonderful. He didn't ask anybody's permission, didn't go to the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department, or even talk to the National Bureau of Economic Research or publish his results in the American Economic Review. No, he just released his product on a free forum, and it's changing the world. Now, I'm very interested to find out, where are the other examples of Bitcoin out there? Where are the other ways in which we can really make a difference in our own lives and for the world, without going to the officials in charge of our society and asking their permission? That's the kind of reform I like, this sort of bottom-up reform. So Bitcoin inspired me. I think it has a brilliant future.
Yeah, it looks very good. As people exchanging goods, the transaction fees are very little, if anything. Right. And it gives people the ability to get a lot done. And matter of fact, today is a historic day. And in just a few minutes, you are going to be officiating at an historic event related to the blockchain, tell us what's going on.
Well, so the Bitcoin is based on this blockchain idea, which is a kind of ledger that lives on a distributed network that no state anywhere can kill because there's no central point of failure. So it's really a brilliant technology used in many areas of life. It's used for Bitcoin too, but the blockchain is capable of much more than just transmitting money and ledgering money. It can also it can hold and verify and timestamp any bundle of information. It can commodify any kind of information. So one of those pieces of information are wedding vows, actually. And so it's a very creative way to use the blockchain to, instead of going to government and asking for a marriage license, you don't have to do that. You can just put your vows right there on the blockchain. They're available for the world. Nobody can modify them. They're there as an immortalized commodity and timestamped and verified. So it's a very beautiful and interesting use of the blockchain. So this is the first blockchain wedding that's ever taken place. But I expect that in the future, and probably starting tomorrow, anybody who's really interested in liberty and technology and strikes up a relationship with somebody will end up using the blockchain for their marriage vows. So I expect in 12 months it's going to become very popular. It's like first you become Facebook official, and then you become blockchain official.
I love it. And no permission needed from the government.
That's right. It's a way of denationalizing marriage in the same way that Bitcoin is progressively denationalizing money. So there's an analogy between the two institutions. Both marriage and money have been more or less nationalized by the government for more than 100 years. So we're breaking out of that system now. It's an old-fashioned system. Nationalization doesn't work for anyone or anything. And we're progressively working away from it. I think we're living in the times of the collapse of the old model of top-down control and moving into a new world of decentralized peer-to-peer sharing economies that are taking place regardless of borders and regardless of what the politicians are doing. We're reforming the world from within.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the way to do it. It has to be done that way. And so for those of you watching this, I would encourage you to find out how you can get involved in the Liberty Movement, find out what's happening there. And Jeffrey, if someone says, hey, I want to find out a little bit more about this Jeffrey Tucker guy and liberty.me, how do they do that?
Well, you just go to liberty.me. It's an interesting address because now it's, we used to be all .coms, now we have .me. So it's liberty.me. And you can join for 30 days for free and try it out, make some friends. You can publish your own website on liberty.me and get your writings in front of many different people and get to know people, attend nightly classes, which we have every single night, and just use it as a tool to enhance your life. If you like it after 30 days, then I think we have a special running right now. It's about $9 a month, which is I think very reasonable given the amount of information we're putting out there and the opportunities it gives for engagement. So I would encourage everybody to join up today.
Jeffrey, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you for joining us today.